Ladies, gentlemen, we are here. We are live. And I want you to hit that subscribe button because I had a bad experience of not pushing record on the microphones, and I would enjoy a subscribe from you to brighten up my day.
Yeah, we need it.
Anyways, continuing on where we left up.
Yep, down, left, right.
Ron
Yeah.
and I are gonna talk about the difference between a get-rich-quick scheme and a get-money-quick scheme. Not scheme. It's just get money quick.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. There you go.
All right. So
I'll say this though, before you keep on going there. We're back on set. We highlighted that in our last episode, but technical difficulties. We had, I mean, you would have loved it. 40. You would have loved it. But it's fine. It's fine. We're gonna keep on swimming, just keep swimming. But we're back on set after however many weeks. So we're glad to. Glad to have this in our backdrop.
Honestly, I feel like most of our episodes have been offset.
Yeah,
so,
yeah,
like, where
more.
Is set?
You're right.
Where is home?
We've had more offset than we have on set.
Just...
Yeah, you're right.
All right, but yeah,
you're right.
The difference between a get-rich-quick scheme and get money quick. And
so
I personally.
Yeah, why don't you go first?
I believe in get money quick schemes.
Okay.
I like the get rich quick schemes. Those are like pyramid schemes.
Yeah.
But I believe in get money quick. And like, for instance, one of the things I recently found out is like 3D printing. Like you can actually pretty easily, you could make like $500 a month 3D printing. The problem for me is that you have to, obviously you've got to pay for electricity.
Yeah, have a 3D printer.
You got to pay for film. Well, I mean, upfront fees. I was kind of going for sustaining issues.
Gotcha.
Like you got to pay for filament and electricity, so that's cutting into your profit. But the problem for me is the fact that you have to ship your items. Obviously. For me, that like $500 a month, actually, if you do the amount of time it would take me to package up and ship my items out to my buyers, if I was on like Etsy or eBay or whatever the case may be, it is not worth it as compared to actually like having a job.
Yeah. One of those.
So I believe in a get money quick scheme. And I believe those are real things. What are your personal opinions on the subject?
So the way I've, in my mind, separated the two is one has a foundation, one doesn't. One hurts people, and the other one doesn't. So, for instance, a pyramid scheme, what was that difference? You get rich and
get money quick.
Get money, okay. And so a get rich quick scheme, one of those, hey, I recruit you and you recruit 2 others and you recruit 3 others. There's no foundation for that. It's not sustainable. There's no, hey, here's this amazing product everyone could build on it. It's just, at least the times I've ran into it, it's like, hey, get into this program. It's like, wait, I'm gonna make $10,000 in a week, and I just, and I just have to have 10. It's like real weird, no foundation. A get money quick scheme is a little bit different. My mind immediately went to getting a lawnmower and knocking on doors.
Exactly. That's I personally, like, if you're a healthy male, a female can obviously do things, but I'm a male. Okay.
So we speak from our perspective.
Let's specify here. I am. I'm not. I'm not even gonna. I wanted to be like I am sexist, but I feel like that would even in the. I just feel like that wouldn't be funny. That would be funny. That wouldn't be a good idea. Even being funny.
Yeah.
So as a male, I don't see why you shouldn't be able to make like $100 a day. And really that view comes from like I could go knock on doors and like be like, hey, for $20 I'll help you with this, I'll help you with
Literally.
that. Or I can be like, hey, is there anything you want done? You know, that stuff up in your attic that you know, whatever the case may be, like
spring cleaning,
I'll do it.
literally.
$20, you know, like and I'll and then I can like go out and buy a lawnmower, and then I can be like, you know, with my little push mower, knock on doors like, hey, $20, you know, I'll mow this you know, front yard, you know, and then like I could make, you know, like $200 that on one day, you know, and I, you know, work my way out if, you know, I'm living in like the suburbs, you know, work my way out, and obviously I'm gonna run into issues, but by that time, you know, I've probably made like $1,000 or so dollars. I got to find some means of transportation, but at that point, you know, it's paying for itself, and like soon enough, you've got, you know, a pickup truck and a riding lawnmower, and you can continue on, you know,
residual.
making your $100 a day.
Exactly.
Now, obviously, you're not going to become an entrepreneur unless, you know, you get to the point where you've got enough that you can actually pay someone to work for you.
Yeah.
And they're making more money than you're paying them, you know, and then you can start building up, and then you can, you know, move on to other businesses, etc. But I don't see why you can't, you know, make like $100 a day, just like going out and, you know, I'm sure there's some sort of salesman term, but just being a go-getter, you know?
Yeah,
just
literally
just like
knocking on doors.
Just going out and being a go-getter.
Driving around, seeing a need. So they say in sales, you need leads. Leads are people who want your product. For whatever reason, they want your product. The thing is, you have to show them they want your product. Because a lot of people aren't naturally saying, oh, it'd be nice to have these handmade or these specifically printed cups with good but not soft on it.
Yeah.
Like, you got to show the need. And so that's for specific service businesses where pressure washing is kind of luxury, right? You could kind of go away without having your driveway pressure washed. You could kind of do away with Christmas lights. You know, like, there are some things you could do away with, and so you have a little bit more of a need to show them, hey, with this product, you will have this amazing result. But then there are things that everybody needs. If you own property, even if you're renting, your landlord needs it. Grass mowed, landscaping done. You need food. You need water. Like, you need all of these things. And the companies are just like, hey, we're providing all the same things, but they have to stand out in some way. So with lawn mowing, if you literally show up at someone's door and their grass is yay high, convenience is your biggest sell.
Yeah.
Because you're like, I can do this in 30 minutes right now. And they're like, oh, yeah, actually, my husband was going to do it on Saturday. It's 5 days away from now. And, oh, yeah, just for $20? Sure.
Yeah.
It's like convenience. And so that's why I think there's legit and meaningful ways for you to get money quick. And because you can, one, I shared foundation, then I also shared one hurts people. You're helping people with this one. You're helping yourself, and you're helping the homeowner that's like, you know what? Yeah, I'll do this for $20, and my husband could go on a date with me. You know, whatever it is. And so, yeah, good question.
Yeah.
Good question. I think and this is one of my rants.
Ooh, get a rant, y'all.
Yeah, $1 million rant here. So I'm a public school teacher. Last year I taught English at a high school for 10th and 11th grade, World and American Literature. This year I am teaching anatomy and chemistry at another high school.
I don't know how he. I don't
Not
know
gonna
how
go
he
into
became
that.
the anatomy teacher.
But
I've got questions.
Yeah, we'll explore that on another episode when Ben's here. That's a whole joke in and of itself. Anyways, anyways, I think the whole public school system, the way it's set up, it's to crank out people who are gonna do 9 to 5s. And what I mean by that is, okay, go to college, get a degree, and then so you could get a nice paying job. Out of college or out of high school, get a job 9 to 5. Like, just, it's generating 9 to 5. And then the whole framework, right? You have a teacher, and most of the teachers are, here's this information, believe it. There's no right or wrong. And so there's a whole bunch of young minds who are just soaking in this information, whatever their teacher's saying, that's what's right. Questioning is not welcomed.
Mm-hmm.
It's welcome to a degree. Hey, what's hyperbole and what's this and that? But to question what's right or wrong,
Yeah,
is not that welcomed. And so that's perfect for employees. Like, we need employees who are just like, this is how we do things, do the cashier. This is how we package stuff. Like, we don't need people who are like, wait, why do we do this that way? Why don't we do this? It's like, you're not going to get anything done. When it comes to business owners, though, entrepreneurs, people who want certain types of freedoms outside of what... Now, there are some good 9 to 5 jobs, right? Not everyone should quit. There's some solid, high-paying, 6-figure jobs. Perfect schedules. Like, I know one guy who's in cybersecurity, and his schedule's 7 to 2, making 6 figures. He loves it. He has the rest of his day to do whatever he wants, essentially, and he works from home. Amazing. Like, there's some good 9 to 5s, but I think majority of people are just programmed to go to this 9 to 5 job, whether it's McDonald's or whatever it is, and they climb the ladder in that company, and it's just like, ugh. And I think what I've learned, because I had a 9 to 5, I've continued my studies, graduate studies, so I love education. I'm not against it. But I think when the mindset is, let me back up. I think the public school system is main goal is to dish out and make factory workers, if you will, and not a lot of builders.
I have a lot of, whatever's whenever it comes to the public school, but personally, I view public school, one, as government daycare.
You're not wrong.
You need somewhere to send your kids while you're doing a 9 to 5.
Wrong. Yeah, you're not wrong.
And then, 2, it's to build people who don't ask a lot of questions and will just do stuff. Not always from a business standpoint. Government education, I'm just going to let y'all think about that. And then, I had another point.
Oh, sorry.
It left me.
Man, it needs to come back.
Just,
really bad care.
We got the government daycare and, sheeple.
Yeah.
As they're commonly referred to. It's like a partly why I'm against public school. Is you just 9 to 5,
Mm-hmm.
Not 9 to 5.
But yeah.
What is it? 9 to 3, 8 to 3? I forget.
So middle school is 8 to 4.
8 to 4.
And my high school is 7 to 2.
7
2:40.
to 2. Okay.
And then I think elementary is like...
That's complicated.
Yeah.
Anyways, for many hours a day, it's just what the government chooses to feed you.
Yeah.
And that should raise some questions, because I don't think anyone here is going to say they blindly 100% follow the government because they are trustworthy. Like,
Yep.
that's actually one of like the best argument I've ever heard for guns is a guy he'd ask people. He went to like a college, was asking like, liberal like college. And so there were some people who, were more conservative, but like he'd ask them, the first thing he'd come up to him and be like, "Do you trust the government?" And usually the answer was, "Yeah, not,"
Yeah.
And it's like, so do you believe the government should be the only one to have guns? And like you could see the wheels turning on a lot of people, and I'm like,
yeah.
That's actually a really good point. I like it.
Yeah.
That's like,
good hook.
Yeah. Like we done trapped them and they didn't even like.
With the lawn mowing and stuff, I think it's a gateway drug. It's one of those things.
Lawn mowing's a gateway drug.
Quote
that. The lawn mowing is a gateway drug.
That's
Ronald
my good but
J.
not
Paulius.
soft quote. I think the reason I say that, or at least it's one of those low barrier entry businesses you could start. And some people, it's a legit business. And it's like, oh, yeah, I could cut a few yards in a day and make $300, $400, whatever it is. I could do this a couple of times. Oh, and they need their grass cut again next week? It's like, wait, I could get... And then you start to build systems. And I think that's when something becomes a business, when you have systems.
I actually, I'll see people, like driving down the road or something, and you'll see, like, a newer vehicle, and they've got, sometimes even, wrapped it, which, is expensive in itself. And so, you'll see something and it'll be like, such and such is, lawn service, and they'll do lawns, they'll do power washing, pressure washing, they'll do et cetera, and I'm like, that's actually pretty cool. He probably started off with a lawnmower in his truck,
exactly.
And then made money. And then he was like, "Hey, I can buy a pressure washer."
Yeah.
And now he's, got a
business.
nice business vehicle and everything with a nice trailer, and it's like that's cool that he just to be obviously he's grown, it's just cool to think about, and it's so it's a nifty whatever for me, as I see people like that driving down the road.
Yeah.
It's impressive.
The thing with that, another thing about the government schools is that, just calling it that.
We're leapfrogging now.
Is that it doesn't create a lot of builders.
Builders.
So this, let me explain that phrase.
Do you mean more like, oh, dude, what do they call it? Like the people who lead the way, who what is it? I have the word right here.
Yeah, I have it too.
They're like the ones
they pave ways.
Yes, and
not patriots, but
this is not the
not
the day for words.
Pioneers.
Yes, there we go.
There you go.
It's not really pioneers. Yes.
Yeah. So what I mean, just to give a context of that phrase, builders. Cody Sanchez, she buys businesses, talks about buying businesses, and just good stuff. Listen to her. Well, she says she's made this profound quote on X that has just stuck with me. She said, "We are raising a generation of takers and burners, and we need to raise a generation of buyers and builders." And the context for that was...
That depends on what you're going for.
Start a trash heap business, right? Burning stuff. The context for that was just the riots that happened during the 2020, that era in American history where so many people burnt down businesses. Not just big Target, Walmart businesses and store stuff, but small mom and pop businesses. People who are trying to make a living for their families. And so, not that Walmart and them aren't either, but just to bring it home. And so, I think with the government schooling, the public schooling, there's a whole bunch of people who are just being trained. Hey, this is gonna be fed your way. Like we're bringing everything to you. Just do as you say, or do as we say. Do what you're told. Get into a 9 to 5, and they're working for someone else, just doing what they're told, and they're building something, right? It's not like they're not doing anything, but it's more consumption, more they're just taking it in, soaking it in. And Cody has helped me to realize that, like, we need to be builders, like build businesses so that we could have stuff for our families and we could have the financial freedom we want, as opposed to working for CVS. And I don't even know who the CEO is, but I used to work there.
Hold on, pause that. Actually,
oh yeah,
the CEO of CVS was the CEO of Walgreens' wife.
Oh,
they had a divorce.
Oh,
the reason you always see a CVS like right next to a Walgreens, is because she had a little bit of whatever with her husband, so she would literally place a CVS right next to each Walgreens for like competition.
I've not heard that story before. Anyways, I always wondered why, like, every time I saw CVS there was a Walgreens, but wow, interesting. And so, just that stood out to me. Like, be builders. And I think starting a lawn mowing business or whatever small business you can do with the resources you have is like a gateway drug. It's like, oh, actually, this is possible. Mm-hmm. You start to believe in yourself. You start to take risks, and it's like, oh, yeah. Now, some people shouldn't quit their 9 to 5s just because they're really good at it, or they're making really nice, 6-figure, whatever it is.
Or you just can't afford the risk. I mean,
that's
if you've got like a 5-person family, and that might not want to be quitting that,
yeah, come home early. Your wife's like, why are you home so early? Babe, I'm gonna be home early every day.
I can't stand you as it is. Get out of my house. That's I've actually pretty much finished 1984. I'm getting that right.
No, you're right.
That's okay.
Good book.
You've read that?
Oh,
yeah. Nice. Okay.
Good book.
And he talks about having to burn off supplies. Mm-hmm. And you don't actually want to be giving all of those supplies to the public. You actually need to get rid of those supplies, so there's always a demand.
Yep.
And that helps keep your economy. The economy. I think that was tied into economy and like morale. Yeah. All of it all just like intertwined. Yeah. So I don't really know which specifically he was referring, but like literally like have to burn off products, so there's always less than's needed.
Yeah.
To keep everything stabilized. And so they were always in war. And that was their way of burning off products, was always in war, always need it for the war effort, always burning off manpower and products. Boom. Mm-hmm. It's going right into the war effort. And the reason war is the choice of all of the, what are they, superpowers? Or
it's
the 3 superpowers.
I forget them.
Was because it created the right morale. Was because there was war, it created the right morale, as opposed to like literally just torching products.
Yeah.
Like if you literally just lit them on fire, it would accomplish the same goal, but the morale would not be correct.
Yeah.
So that's why I said with the generation of, the burners as opposed to builders.
Yeah.
Depends on what you're going for, you know?
Oh, I see. Yeah.
Think there's people who want more burners. But yeah, it's just, I don't know. Like everybody makes fun of the conspiracy theorists until it comes true. I don't know. Yep. Like there are lines to be drawn.
Yeah.
But I'm like, it's too much of this is. And
It-
we're
too
seeing
many things are
way
happen-
too much
yeah.
that looks like the rest of this story.
Yeah. And
Like-
the other thing is, how many things? It's projection
Dude,
too.
even like 1984, it's like the telly screens and everything, and I was like, "You mean like a cell phone? You mean like
Yeah.
the thing that always
Yeah.
always has a microphone and a camera? Like
Yep.
we watch stuff on it, but
And
they
it's
could be
watching
watching and
us,
listening
yeah.
to us. Like I don't know.
These right like George Orwell and
Brave. Have you read Brave New World?
yeah, that's
I have not read it. But,
it's really good.
Ben read it and talked about it a lot.
It's
and
really good.
It's like
on the total opposite
this
spectrum.
This is very interesting because like there are so many things that are similar in 1984, and there's so many things that are
Brave New
similar. Like, I mean, I feel like communist is a lot more like 1984.
Yeah.
But like even as an American, there's so many things that are similar in 1984 and that are similar in Brave New World, and it's like, okay, interesting. I am gonna just, I don't know where I'm gonna go, but I'm gonna go.
Yeah. Neil Postman, you should check
Did
this
you- have
out
you
when you're
heard-
done
Did
with
you
it.
hear about the like two guys who tried to start their own country on an island?
No, how'd that
Anyways,
go?
continuing on.
It probably didn't go well.
No.
You at least need a female. So the
That was not the issue. Political issue.
never mind, gotcha. So all right, erase that comment. So the Neil Postman, after you read Brave New World, Neil Postman kind of talks about the two. Fahrenheit 451 is another good book to read on kind of
Never
dystopian
even
and
heard
what
of
it
that
could
one.
become. But essentially, so Fahrenheit 451, they're burning books. So firemen are doing the total opposite. Instead of putting out fires, they're starting fires, burning books, essentially taking out history. And there's a guy who's like, why are they burning books? He questions a little bit. Then there are people who are come along his path who like feed it. The one just started to spoil it. The one person literally dies with her books. And he was always told books are bad. We're burning books. We're saving the world. And somebody dies for her books. Anyways, Neil Postman, he wrote a book, Amusing Ourselves to Death. And his premise is civilization is not going to die and burn the 1984 way. It's going to be the Brave New World way. I think it's both.
I was gonna say there's overlapping.
I think that there are people who are not going to be on a Brave New World, and basically the premise of Brave New World is society will decay with the increase of pleasure and no boundaries on pleasure. I mean, there's literally a point in the book, the adults are arguing, well, we enjoy sex. Why can't kids who are like 10 and 12, why can't they enjoy it? Like, we enjoy it. Who are we to stop them from pleasure? And so he argues, I forget the author of this. Huxley. I forget his first name, but Huxley argues through his metaphor, if you will, or yeah, I think it's a metaphor, that civilization is going to decay this way. 1984 is, they're going to tell you 2 + 2 doesn't equal 4. It's 5.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so
No. 2 plus 2 plus 2 can sometimes be 3. Sometimes it is 4. And
yeah.
Sometimes it's 5. Maybe
Yeah.
even 8 if necessary.
Yeah,
that's the like one of the things with like Brave New World that like kind of kind of reminds me of like the school system and stuff is like
yeah.
they tell you 2 + 2 equals 8, like on an extreme, 2 + 2 equals 8, and then like the next day they can decide 2 + 2 equals 3 as it's necessary, and like all of a sudden like
literally
like in
literally
in a 1984 the guy's giving a speech talking about the evil people they're fighting and everything. And there's banners everywhere. And, like, he's up there giving a speech, and literally he gets, like, a note in the middle of his speech, and he says, like, mid-sentence, not even missing a beat, he just continues on, and all of a sudden, it's a new enemy.
Yeah.
The other superpower just got named instead of the last one. And, like, everybody, like, whatever's, and starts ripping down banners and, you know, blames it as, like, the spies confuse them, like, somehow. Yeah. And, like, that's what like that's like the ultimate whatever of, like, sheeple.
Yeah.
We have not made it to that point, but, like,
we're heading to
like,
it's, and so I think in both camps of their projection of how civilization will decay and go down, like, we're getting a taste of both.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, oh, do whatever you want, no boundaries, just freedom on anything and everything. And then the 2 + 2 = 5, 8, 7. It's like,
say, like, 1984 is like all about, like, rules and control, you know, controlling everything you do. And Brave New Worlds, you know, the opposite direction.
Yeah, literally.
And I'm like, I feel like there's like areas where we pick and choose. We want to control you right here. Yeah. We want you to go wild over here and control you. And, like, it's like, this is a little iffy, if you ask me.
Yeah.
Which, you know.
And the
self-sustainment, everyone.
yeah, seriously, self-sustainment and the ability to think and process things. And what I mean by that is you receive it, because we got to receive information from somewhere. Mm-hmm. It's not like, hey, go find things yourself. Well, you know, you'll find an old book, right? You'll find an old YouTube, whatever it is. You'll find something somebody else has shared, and it's hard to do research on a lot of things. You're independent of other voices.
Yeah.
And so
that's, I've actually noticed that with myself. Like, I'll research something on YouTube, and, like, you know, I'll find someone I like, and, you know, obviously I like them, you know, they talk well, explain it well for me, whatever the case may be, and so I'll watch, like, all of their content on the subject, and then I'll, you know, I find that I have a very conformed to their opinion.
Yeah, exactly.
Opinion of the subject.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
And it's so, I've found that I kind of need to balance it out a little bit. And so
I've been on.
And I mean, real quick, even on that same whatever, just because it's your opinion doesn't mean it's the right opinion. Like,
well,
trying to send a message.
We had a
tell me it's that time.
Yeah.
It has been a pretty long episode.
Yeah.
This was supposed to be a shorter one because we already recorded an entire episode.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Good times. So, without further ado, thank y'all so much for watching another episode of the Good But the Not Soft Podcast. Yeah. I am one of the many co-hosts, and we will see you next time. All right. Are you doing it or am I? The device.
I'll do it.
Okay.
What are we doing again?
You gave me a
I'll
look.
do it.
I was like, he does not know what I'm saying. All right. What is your good but not soft advice?
Take the time to think.
Take the time to think.
Take the time to think.
What are we supposed to think about?